All right. Yay! I did it. Okay. So, yeah, I have. This is the first time using StreamYard mobile for me. So, I've always done it on the desktop, but I wanted to do this because I need to learn how to do this. So, that's what we're doing. So, for all you guys that are in the chat, when you get here, I have already had an adventure getting here. This has been fun. It's just like always. Last night, got off work, had all the plans. My van was supposed to be back by by the time I got off of work. Turns out my son-in-law and my granddaughter, who is still in the hospital up in Albuquerque, New Mexico, they took my van up there because their car wouldn't make it. They were supposed to be back Wednesday night. They still weren't back Thursday. The doctors are still dealing with her, so she's getting better, but we'll see how that all plays out. But so I was going to take my other car, but then my other car decided it wanted to have an attitude. And my daughter goes, just take mine. All right, fine. So then I had to switch cars, get everything loaded. Didn't get out of the house until it was after dark because I wanted to do this mobile stream yesterday partly as well. So that way I could have a little bit of time with all you guys. Well, that didn't happen. Finally made it into Van Horn after getting through a whole bunch of traffic. They had two really bad car accidents between Deming, New Mexico, and El Paso, and they had the freeway completely shut down in both directions twice. So I got, yeah, it was a long run. So then I parked in Van Horn, got all set, figure, okay, I'm gonna get a couple, 3, 4 hours of sleep. Got up, went and got something to eat inside, got cleaned up, got ready, and the car has a flat tire. So this has been an adventure. This is why I put spin up or bust, guys. This is what happens on road trips. So, some of you guys made the trip to spin up year before last, when Kelly had it. And a number of you can definitely relate. So that has been my adventure so far. And then trying to figure StreamYard out on the mobile, because it's weird. There are things you can do on it that if the phone is turned sideways and you go to it, it won't let you get out of it. It won't show you the exit button. And I kept trying to get out of it. It kept sending me back to different spots that I didn't want to go. So this has been a learning experience doing this mobile, but I am learning it, guys. So that's what's up. So Yellow Rose Jones, good to see you in the chat. I got my chat over here on my other phone, so that way I can see the actual YouTube chat, which is super cool. You're going to be there this evening, right? If I remember right, I hope. So if so, that'd be super. And for everybody else that's in here, follow along. We're going to chat a bit. So it has been an adventure. So we're going to get back on the freeway here and get going. I had to pull over to figure this out because it did something weird. But that's all part of the games, guys. So, you're getting ready to leave? All right, awesome. Awesome. So I just left Fort Stockton about 10, 15 minutes ago. So we're hopping back on the freeway. And I don't know how well this is going to work going down the freeway. I don't know what the cell service is down through this section. So if it drops out, guys, let me know. Let me know in the chat if it's dropping out. Also, let me know, is my audio okay? Because I am using these earbuds with the mic. Because I did a couple of tests with some other mics, and they worked okay. But it just, for whatever reason, this sounded at least as good or better. And it was and it was simpler. So I just plugged into the phone directly. So, oh yeah, you definitely are a lot closer than I am. So, yeah, my drive is, I think, somewhere between 10 and 11 hours. So I think it's like 10-hour drive time-ish. So we always got to make our potty stops because we got coffee. And we all know how that goes through us all. That'll at least keep my voice doing well. But to get to SpinUp, Kelly's got a lot of things planned for this year, I hope. I know he does, and we got some good sponsors this year too. And I personally am looking forward to getting together with all you guys. I've spent the last almost 2 years working on the house, and I haven't been able to do a whole lot else other than get the house fixed and get it to where it's livable. But I'm getting real close with it. It's almost done, which is super duper. Audio's fine? Good. Thank you. That's what I wanted to make sure of. I did a lot of testing on it, trying to get that sounding at least decent. So, and that's all I wanted to make sure of. I know it don't sound as super pro as Mikey and everybody else, when you get on the good mics, sitting at home. So, you have a little bit of breakup on the audio, but video's okay. All right, breakup. So, is it just crackling, or is it, or am I just too loud? Because oftentimes that's the problem with my voice, is that I tend to overdrive the microphones a little too much. So, and when I got crap in my ears, I tend to talk louder too. So, but yeah, who all's in here? Mikey, I know you're, Yellow's words. So, I'm hoping everybody else comes in. In fact, is anybody else in the background? You see anybody? No, nobody's in there. Okay. So, yeah, if you guys want to join in, please feel free. Get the link out of the Facebook Messenger group, because I don't have a clue how to get it. I wonder. You know what? Let me see if it'll let me post it in the chat over here. I don't know if it will. I don't think it will. See what it does. Because, okay, no, I don't want autofill. Nope, it's not going to let me do it. Okay. So, that's what I wanted to see. Is I can't do it because I'm not a moderator on the other channel. So, but yeah, it's in the Facebook Messenger group for Quad Mafia guys. So if you want to go and check it out, go click on it and come on in. I mean, take a few minutes, right along with you. I'm not going to be on super long right now. I'll probably only stay on maybe 20, 30 minutes right now, because this is the first test on this, trying to get this to work right. And so far, so good. So as far as SpinUp's always been great. Kelly does such a fantastic job putting this event together. And I know he's not a one-man band, but effectively he's a one-man band putting this together. It's not like this big group, this big organization that's putting this event on. And every time he puts it on, this thing's awesome. So I've had a great time every time I've come up that we've been able to get up there. The only year they wouldn't allow us was through the COVID crap. And I so desperately wanted to be there for that one. That was hysterical with Ken Dono and everybody. Oh my goodness. I wish I could have been there for that one. That was hysterical. So I'm hoping we get some good fun going this year. I'm sure he's got something planned for us special. I'm looking forward to see who's all coming. I know Rose Drone's going to be there. I know Sean Oz is going to be there for certain, because I messaged him on Instagram, and we talked for a minute. And I know there's going to be quite a few others that haven't really been real vocal as to whether they're going to be there or not. There's going to be a few that we're going to miss, though. Maddie, I know Maddie isn't going to be there, and Mikey and Sergio aren't going to be there this year. So, and that's understandable. They put on that big event up on their end of town here not too long ago. So, yeah. I mean, this should be a lot of fun this year. I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to be here this year, guys. As far as the event goes, usually, and I haven't looked at the itinerary yet. I'm going to get with Kelly here later. I'm going to give him a call and double check on what time and where we're all meeting for dinner tonight, because usually we all meet up at a location for dinner prior to the event, and that's going to be a lot of fun. Now, if everything works out, I'm going to be streaming from there from my phone, same way as this. But I'll have my wireless mics to where I can sit and chat with a few of you while we're there, and we'll be able to get you guys all on mic real well, and that'll be super. So I think that's something that we've missed in the last SpinUps is that we haven't done a lot on showing the pre-event where everybody's gathering up and the community side of it. And I really want to do that because for me, being together with everybody that goes to SpinUp and follows Kelly on Ready Set Drone, I mean, the community he has that surrounds all of that is impressive. There are people that I never, ever would have met or been part of or been pretty good friends with at this point had Kelly not put on SpinUp. So my encouragement to all you guys is that if you're going to put an event on and you think about you want to put an event on, by all means do it. Promote it, run it in your community, because each one of us has our own sphere of influence, our own group of, for lack of a better word, groupies that follow us for us. And it's that community you want to cater to. And Kelly did that with the first SpinUp and realized how big of a community he really had. And it impressed me. And I got to meet tons of great people. I mean, people like Ken Herron, Ken Dono, Sean Oz. I would never have met them in person, ever. It's just, it never would happen because they all live in completely different areas where I don't live. I live out in the middle of for what I call DFE, I'm out here in the middle of the desert, southern New Mexico. I mean, the town I live in, you could fit all the people that live in it in probably just one neighborhood in most of the bigger cities. But, that's the way this works. And that's the way the live streaming works. That's the way SpinUp works. And any other event, Mikey and Sergio found that out when they put their stuff on. Hey, Jody, what's up, buddy? Mikey and Sergio found that out when they put their event on. Johnny and Ray Kelly realized just how big of a community we all had when they put their event on in the South Florida Drone Meetup. And look how big that's gotten over the last few years. And that's the community. That's what it's all about. Yeah, we wrap it around the drones, and all you camera drone operators out there, I'm looking at you, okay? You're going to come to the dock side eventually, okay? But it wasn't just for camera drone guys. We had a ton of FPV guys out there. For Kelly, we had a bunch of FPV guys show up on the very first SpinUp. There's about 6 of us that showed up. And we had a blast. And it's just gotten bigger ever since then. And that's the point, is that even if you start and you only get a half a dozen people show up, that's a half a dozen people. And if you plan it out and have it the next year, there's going to be more than a half a dozen guys. You're gonna have, a dozen or 2 dozen. When I make my trips out to California, there's a set of guys out there that I always call. And when I let them know what date I'm coming out and when, and that I've got that Saturday free, and I'll always talk to them a month in advance, so that way we've got plenty of time to plan. Every time I've gone out and met up with all of them, there hasn't been like 2 or 3 guys show up. We've had 20, 30 guys show up to meet up at a single location and just have a blast flying FPV. And man, I'll tell you what, that's awesome. every one of us can do that. It doesn't matter where we live. You know, Maddie down in Florida, you know, Uncle Bill down in Florida, Johnny over in Louisiana, Ray Kelly even up in New York or down in Florida, you know, Mikey and Sergio up in Ohio. You know, it's like, it doesn't matter where we're at, just decide to do it. And man, yeah, that's the whole point. Because the more we build this community up, the tighter we can pull it together, even with just our groups, the bigger the overall community gets when the bigger events come up, like SpinUp. You know, SpinUp's a bigger event. It's more for, I don't want to say more for, it's geared towards a bigger group. And that's what Kelly does. And Kelly does it really well. But just something to be aware of, too, events like this one aren't cheap. I mean, as far as I know, I don't even know if Kelly's broke even on any of them yet. And that's not to say that he's not charging enough or that, you know, the word isn't getting out big enough. It's just a matter of it's the type of event it is. You know, it costs money for the venue in particular. You know, all of the guys that come in, we're all willing to come in, you know, and do things and help and do all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I mean, bear that in mind. That's why we all support Kelly, you know, and Ready, Set, Drone for all this. And I know all the guys that are in the chat, you know, we all watch them, you know. Hey, Jack Rabbit, what's up? Nice to see you in there today. So, and by the way, Jack Rabbit, are you coming to SpinUp? Let me know in the chat. I don't know if I heard whether you were or weren't. So, but so far so good on this. Looks like, well, I don't know. I don't know if my phone's going to handle much more. My little battery emblem is flashing like it's overheating. So it looks like I might only be able to do this for about 20 minutes at a shot, guys. Sarkio! Nice to see you, buddy. So, yeah, I may only be able to do these lives from the car for about 20 minutes at a time because the sun's bearing down on it. No, I'm not going to be able to do that. Oops. Knocked a whole bunch of stuff out of the visor there. So the sun's kind of hitting the back side of the phone here, and it's making it really hot. So, just got back from Italy. Ooh, did you bring us some pizza? Oh. Oh, man. That's a joke because I know they don't do that over there. At least not the way we make pizza. They do things totally different over there for that. But yeah, guys, I mean, this is what I want to do. This is my adventure. I am rolling down the highway, Interstate 10 at 80 miles an hour out here in the middle of nowhere, Texas. Okay? So the next big town I come to will be Ozona. American pizza's better, yeah. Yeah, I'll second that one. I will definitely second that one, guys. And I'm going to stir a hornet's nest up on this one. Pineapple belongs on pizza, guys. All right, I'm just saying. You ain't convincing me otherwise. That's my favorite. So, but yeah, that's kind of my take on SpinUp. You know, I mean, I absolutely love this is great, and this is the lives in particular are for the community. The lives are for you guys, no matter who's doing it. Any of them. I froze a little bit. Yeah, I hit a dead spot. Okay, so okay, am I still? Yeah, still should be coming. Come on, baby, come on. It's trying to go live again. There we go. All right. Yeah, I hit a spot there where it dropped out for a second, guys. So, but we're still good. We're still rolling. So, but yeah, these live streams are for you guys. It's for the community, for everybody that's watching in the stream, and in the chat. It's for you guys to be able to connect with each other in the chat. And for us, when we're on camera, whoever it is, for us to be able to help you guys, whether it's fix something, answer a question, not sure how to do this or that, what size prop to put on what motor, what batteries to use, how big of an ESC to use. It doesn't matter what it is. That's our job when we're in front of the cameras to help you guys in the chat. So, and that's it. That's the golden thing. So that way, when we do and are able to meet up in person, it's just as if we're getting together, as if we've known each other forever. And that's the community. And that's what I like about this. And that's why I like the live streaming in particular. So I'm going to be doing a lot more of it, here in the very near future. Not just on this channel, on my Doc Murdoch channel, but I have my live streaming consultants YouTube channel. And I want to be able to teach guys, like all of you, that haven't gone live on your own, but show you how to, and to do it with as simple stuff as you can. I mean, right now, I spent a week figuring out what would work with this setup, and it just turned out to be the simplest setup. A simple freaking cell phone earbud with a mic on it. And this is a cheap one. I am going to go buy a better one while I'm out in Texas because I don't have one for this phone. But I've got wireless mics. I've got wired mics. I've got mixers. I've got all that stuff. And it's mainly geared for home. But I have some stuff that's for mobile also. And I've got a really nice little mixer. I don't know. No, I don't have it here. I bought one of those cheap $26 2-mic mixers. It doesn't have any equalizer on it. It just has gain. It has the phantom power, to power a condenser mic. And on top of that, it's got a jack where I can plug a 3.5 millimeter mic or wireless into it. And I've tested it, and it works fine. And it was only $26. It's like, how do you go wrong with that? Especially if you want to go live mobile. Now, this isn't the greatest audio. The other audio I got is better, but it's a little more complicated with wiring. And I needed something just simple for doing what we're doing right now, rotating down the road. So that way I don't get all tangled up cords. I already got 3 cords tricked all over the car right here. So let's see, what's Jackrabbit say? Filled in for Dennis Lovelady. Yeah. I mean, isn't that cool? Isn't that so cool to be able that somebody that does stream can ask somebody else that hasn't or has been on the stream and ask them to take over for them because they're not going to be there, but they want their stream to go on. How flippin' cool is that? That is an awesome community, guys. That is awesome. And let me tell you, I'm part of other communities. I'm full-size aviation, right? And I can tell you emphatically, there is only one group of full-size aircraft flyers, in my opinion, and in my experience that I've come up against, that are like us in the drone community. And that's the backcountry guys that fly up into the mountains, the Trent Palmers, the Mike Pateys, the Corey Robbins. Those guys are just like us. They think the same way, they act the same way. And it's amazing. But you get into the other aviation communities, it's not so. And I honestly believe it just has to do with the affluence that kind of comes with the full-size aviation. I mean, doing full-size airplanes, it's not cheap, guys. The average person cannot legitimately own, operate, maintain, repair a full-size airplane most of the time. It's not cheap. Um, tell you a little experience I had last month. My buddy has a Cessna 182 RG turbocharged. This is a powerful airplane. He wanted a little more experience because he'd gotten his license and got checked out in the airplane, but the airplane was out in California, and he needed to get it back to New Mexico where we live. And he asked me to fly out with him. Okay, so we got it out. Finally got it home to his hangar. The next weekend we went out together, and he wanted to get more proficient in our area because he's only flown where he got all of his certifications, which is down at sea level. We live at 6,000 feet elevation. The airplane flies a little different, okay? You have to do a few extra things that you don't normally do down at sea level. So we were doing that, and we flew at the home airport a little bit, got comfortable with that airport. Then we flew down to the county airport, which is about 10 miles south. We went down there, made a couple passes, and we were getting ready to fly out to Las Cruces, which is about 45 miles to the east. As we took off, we cleared the fence. He put the gear up, and about 2 seconds after the gear came up, and it comes up with a pretty good thud, right? I hear this bang at my feet, and I'm thinking, crap. The nose gear came down because on that particular airplane, the nose wheel doesn't fold backwards, it folds forwards. So if something on it fails, it slaps down and goes bang real hard, and you can feel it in your feet. That's kind of where I felt it, like just right up in the front by my feet. And we looked at each other, and he goes, well, should I just head back to the home airport? And I go, well, if it's a landing gear issue, we've got 20, 30 forest fighters. The aviation crew was at the county airport because that was during the time we had some fires going on. I says, if we have any issues with the airplane, we got 20, 30 guys there that can give us a hand and get the airplane off the runway. He says, okay, we'll do that. So we made the left turn, started heading back to the other end of the runway, right? We get about halfway down. So the airport is what we call a beam. It's directly 90 degrees off of our left. And I looked down and I noticed the oil pressure was hovering right above the red line. And I asked him, does this thing normally run this low oil pressure when it says hot out? It was almost 100 degrees out. And he goes, not that I know of. And I leaned over to him. I says, get this airplane closer to the runway right now. So he edged over closer, and we got down to the end where we needed to make our turn to the runway. As he pulled the power back, the engine sputtered. And I go, turn this thing right at the runway right now. Don't make it standard approach. Head right for the end of the runway. He got that thing turned, got lined up. As he flared, touched down, and as the nose gear came down and touched on the ground, the engine quit. Completely quit. Just shut off. So we coasted off the runway, got off the taxiway, got it parked. When I climbed out of my side of the airplane, I was in the right seat. The entire right-hand side underneath the airplane was covered in oil. And I walked up to the front because the oil check door had popped open, and I could see the cylinder head on the engine. And I reached in, touched it, and I could move it. And I'm like, well, that ain't good. That fix to repair that engine, and it was just and we call them a jug because it's not a barrel and a head, it's a one piece, so it's called a jug. That piece by itself was almost $2,500, just that piece. And they had to replace a couple of push rods, they had to replace the exhaust part that got torn. When it shoved the head back, it tore the exhaust manifold area, where the heat muff is for the heater for the airplane. Yeah, it was a bit of a pucker moment, but all this to say that full-size aviation isn't cheap. Just a simple thing of pop the head, right? right now just to get the airplane back flying. So, yeah, and that's on an airplane that's, I want to say, valued at between $70,000 and $100,000. That's about what those cost now, in good flying condition. So yeah, it's not cheap. So that's why you end up with these groups that tend to be a little more standoffish than the backcountry guys that build all their own stuff. Guys like us that go out and fly and build our own stuff. This is the kind of stuff that, yeah. I don't even know how to put it in words to a degree. I'm kind of in a small group that's had this happen, to them in the air. There's a lot of pilots that never ever have something like that happen to them, ever. 20, 30, 40 years of flying. So, yeah. But all that to say, we have a very unique community that isn't found in too many other genres, sports, anything. It's just not found like this. So, yeah, guys, if you want to go live. Connect with your community, with your subscribers, with your viewers, and bring them into the fold tighter. Because just watching the videos is great. And there's nothing wrong with it. But once you make a connection, like with Jackrabbit, I got a chance to call him and talk to him right after the hurricane went through. Checked on him. That was important to me. That thing just missed him. Okay. I did the same thing with Ken Dono. And the hurricane that went through there that year. I called him right before, as it was coming in, and I was checking to make sure he was all right. Hey, boy, Neil. What's up, buddy? So that's the point about the community, is that you make that closer connection. And that's what Kelly does with Ready, Set, Drone, and that's what Kelly does with SpinUp. He takes it to the next level of not just the live stream, but goes and puts on a live event like this in person. That's awesome. That's super awesome. So I encourage you guys to do it. Go live. If you can, set up an event in your area. Man, do it. Do it. I really, really would love to see everybody do something in their local area. I'm kind of one of the oddballs in this, that to do anything in my local area, the minimum drive is an hour from anywhere. So, yeah. For me to get into El Paso is almost 2 hours. To get into Las Cruces is about 50 minutes. And that's the closest spot where any of the other flyers really are at. El Paso, I think, has, matter of fact, El Paso does has a multi-GP chapter. So, yeah, I have to make a serious effort if I want to go and fly with all them. There's only a very, very, very small handful of us out our way. So I think 5 last time I counted. So, but yeah, if you can do it in your area, do it. Do it. I mean, you won't regret it. Not even close. It will be an experience. Even if it doesn't go the way you planned, it doesn't matter. The effort is what matters. The connections that you do make when they're, whoever shows up, that's what matters. So, yeah. So, guys got any questions for me for this? Because I'm so used to making these long drives. I'm fine if you want to ask some questions. I'll try to answer best I can. Never can tell what might pop up. Like, I don't know. You can't quite see it in the back, but I got a lot of gear in the back of the car right now. Kelly Shores puts on a great event. Yes, he does. I've been at every one that we were allowed to be at. And as long as Kelly puts them on, I'm going to be there. As long as I'm healthy and able to get to them, I'm going to go to them. Let's see here. Read it after you stop. Okay, great. Yeah, I will do that. We'll do that, Lee. So, yeah, Doc, I'll send you a text later. Yeah, are you paying big dollars for hotel? No, my wifey already. She found me one and got it all paid for like a month and a half ago. We did it all in advance. I forget even which one. She sent me a text last night of which one I'm in. I don't even know which one I'm in. I'll look at the text once I get into town. So, but my first stop though, before I get in town, I don't know how many of you guys are gun guys, but I follow Matt Carricker, okay, on Demolition Ranch, and he runs bunker branding out of Bernie, Texas. Well, it's Friday, and Bernie, Texas is on my way. I'm going to be making a stop at bunker branding. So if you've ever seen it or haven't seen it, go look it up. Matt Carricker shoots and blows all kinds of stuff up on his channel with guns, and he puts a lot of it in the showroom at bunker branding. He's got some cool stuff in there. So on Messenger, I'll have to share some of the pictures I've got from the last time we were up there. But yeah, it's pretty neat. So, oh yeah, looks like I'm getting a little choppy there. Yeah, the signal's getting a little lower. Well, guys, we've been on for about 40 minutes, and I know I've got a lot further to go. I will. Yeah, I miss being able to hunt. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to do that in a few years myself, Neil. I like bow hunting personally. And a little dry. Texas. Yeah. Gotta have coffee for now. Still morning time, kind of. But yeah, I'm gonna call it quits for now. I will do another live probably after I go to bunker branding, as I make my way into the event. That'll be after I get in touch with Kelly and find out where we're all having dinner tonight, and we'll go from there. And maybe I'll be able to meet up with some of the guys that are there, and we'll see what happens. So let me see if there's anybody. You're only paying $50 for the weekend? You got some reward money there. That's really good, Lee. You see anybody waiting in the green room? I don't know if anybody's in there. Come on. Go good. No. Okay, nobody in there. That's what I want to see. Didn't want to leave anybody sitting in there, So, yeah, if I can figure out in between times, I will figure out how to make myself a moderator on my own channel. Because I'm watching my channel from my other channel. So I've got to make my other channel a moderator so that way I can post links and stuff in there. So that way, like for StreamYard, so that way I can put it in the chat for everybody if they want to join. So I'll have that set up for the next stream. Yes, I definitely will. I am definitely that. My son's a little more crazier than I am. I used to be that way when I was young. It don't matter no more. You just take your time. When you get there, you get there. All right, guys. Please be safe. If you're coming, I'll see you there. And if not, make sure you tune into the live streams for SpinUp from Kelly's channel on Ready Set Drum, and we'll see you there. Mod yourself through YouTube Studio when you're offline. Yeah, yeah, I'm going to do that when I end this. I'll take time to go do that, Neil. All right, guys, I'm going to put my little end screen up for about 10 seconds, and then we'll be out of here. Be safe, and I'll see you all there on the streams or in person. Catch you then.